Hi y'all, my name is Becca. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. I'm trying to sit as far back as possible from the camera because if you can't tell, I have no makeup on. And you guys are probably so used to that by now because I literally don't put makeup on since I had a baby. But I feel like I'm apologizing in every single video for like how not put together I look. So again, we're gonna apologize, I guess. Today I want to share with you guys a little video that I think would have helped me because I searched for this so much and really couldn't find a whole lot of comparison on it. And I wanted to share with you guys a kind of in-depth comparison of the Snuggle Me Organic and the DOCKATOT Deluxe, which those are the two infant loungers from DOCKATOT and Snuggle Me. But I'm just going to be sharing the differences and which one I prefer and why, because I looked a lot to find comparisons between the two from the same person so I would know what people truly like better and why, and I found it was really hard to find a whole lot of comparison videos of people who had bought both. Now, I don't want to move the camera, but I'll show you guys here on my phone. My dog decided that he's going to lay on these while I'm trying to film. Booby. Hey. Booby. What are you doing? Hey, those aren't yours? My dog literally thinks that these are for him. What are you doing? I have to show those. Here, let's scoop them over. Or on me. Sit in my lap. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, those aren't for you. So I will do some overviews and stuff, of course, but this is the DOCKATOT Deluxe Infant Lounger, and this is the Snuggle Me Organic Infant Lounger. I will overview them next to each other and stuff, but I'm basically just going to talk about both of them, then I'll share with you which one I prefer. So starting out, we'll talk about the DOCKATOT first, I guess. I don't remember exactly how much it retails for, but I can put it over the screen. I think it's like $175 new to get the infant lounger from DOCKATOT. So this is the one that I had grabbed, and basically the way this is designed is it has that tubing around the side, and then right here is a perfectly like flat, it's not even much of a cushion. I mean it's a separate cushion from this part, but it's like very flat, hard. It's something that if you put it on another flat surface, your baby is not going to be like sinking into it in any way at all. Now, I actually had grabbed this first. I grabbed this a while before I grabbed a Snuggle Me. So until we got our Snoo, which came in when our baby was 4 weeks old, he actually did sleep in this. Now, little disclaimer, I know that these CoSleepers technically are not recommended for sleep and stuff like that. They're not allowed to truly recommend it for that because of like different guidelines. So I'm not recommending this. I'm just sharing my personal experience. If you let your baby sleep in it, that is up to you. That is not my business. So I'm just sharing my personal experience. But my little guy did sleep in this for the first like 4 weeks. And one thing that was really good in that time was that he was so little that he was nowhere near these bumpers on the side. So I knew that putting him in bed next to me in this, he was just on a completely flat surface. So it did feel very safe for me personally. He also has had really good head control though since he was born. But the only thing with that is that he didn't sleep very good in this because he was just on a plain flat surface by himself. He wasn't being like touched or snuggled by these outer walls at all. So if we're being honest, he has not been the biggest fan of the DOCKATOT. He did sleep in it because I did feel very safe putting him in it. Personally and based on my personal baby, but he did not love it because it doesn't feel any type of cushion or bed or hug or cuddle or anything like that. So that's kind of some stuff to kind of weigh back and forth what you think is the most important. My dog actually loves this. And also it basically goes so that your baby's entire body fits inside, and you can unclip this bottom part and let it out so that when your baby's feet get longer, you can fit them in it for a little bit longer. So the entire body of the baby is supposed to be inside the DOCKATOT essentially. And as they get older, they might feel a little bit more of these outer cushions, but I think these are really just meant for your baby to not roll over or not roll off or anything like that. They're not meant to like cuddle the baby in, and having a cuddly baby who doesn't like to be put down, that was kind of the thing that he did not like about this. But I do feel very safe putting him in it and walking away to go to the bathroom or walking away to go do something that I need to do quickly. I don't feel like it's an unsafe product at all, and I did feel safe putting him in the bed with this in the beginning, and that's just my personal preference. Another thing though is that these covers are so hard to get on and off. You have to take the whole cover off, it unzips, and you can take it off to wash it, of course, but putting it back on is so frustrating that like ruins it for me, if we're being honest. I get that it's probably supposed to just be very tight on the product and not have any extra laying around to cause any like breathing or suffocation risks, but it is hard to get these covers on and off of the product. Moving on to the Snuggle Me Lounger, this is what it looks like. It is kind of slightly smaller than the DOCKATOT, but it is a different design, obviously. So the way this design is different is that your baby fits in the middle here and the walls come in, so it's like a cuddle. I'll also insert overviews of my baby at the end in both of these so you can kind of visualize it. But your baby goes inside and these walls kind of cuddle the baby in, and it literally looks like they're being held or hugged in, and it creates that sensation of somebody like holding on to you essentially. Another thing with it is their entire body doesn't necessarily go inside. So their head goes to the top part, and then their butt is supposed to be at the bottom. That's not necessarily going to be the case with a newborn, but they say that you don't switch to the toddler one until like their head to butt would outgrow this one. So like their head, their butt down here, and their legs actually can come out, I guess, is essentially how it can work, if that makes sense. But you don't want like their entire body to be like stuck inside of it, I guess is kind of the concern. Now, I did not get this until a little bit later, so he never had to sleep overnight in it. But the only thing that I kind of think of is he would have slept much better in this than he did in the DOCKATOT, but I wouldn't have necessarily felt as safe, only because it does kind of squeeze you in. So you would definitely have to be very careful if your baby can turn their head back and forth as a newborn, because they might not be able to turn it back. So this would cause a little bit more of a concern. I do think that if you're on a very flat surface, a flat hard surface, you might be fine. I think it definitely is the preference of the specific baby. With my baby, I think I still would have felt okay, but with some babies, you might not. Moving on, the next thing with this though is the covers are insanely easy. It is so easy to take on and off, which is what I love. So this is not a Snuggle Me cover. This one I got on Etsy, but they work the same way. And you literally just take it right off like a pillowcase, wash it, put it back on, and it's super easy, which is really, really nice. But yeah, a big thing with this, like the biggest difference that I see is that it is snuggling the baby in so that they're probably a lot more content. So this is the one that I actually will put him in usually if I have to go do something, because I can actually make him more content by himself, where usually he does not like to be put down. Oh, and I believe that the Snuggle Me Organic retails for $150 if I'm correct. It could be just $100. I'll put it on the screen again for the price comparison. But yeah, so basically the preference of my baby is definitely towards the Snuggle Me. I'm not gonna lie, he is much more comfortable being in that because it does hug him, so we can put him down and he'll be perfectly happy for a while. Where in the DOCKATOT, it just feels like he's being put down anywhere else, so he doesn't like that. However, I would say obviously it's safer to put a baby down in a DOCKATOT than on the couch by himself, obviously. Alright, so that is it for my little comparison on the DOCKATOT and Snuggle Me. I will put the prices right here to compare which one is more expensive and which is cheaper. I would say I recommend the Snuggle Me more. However, I hope that this just helps you kind of think of your individual baby's needs or your individual needs, what is the most important to you, and maybe that helps you decide which one you like a little bit better. I'm also going to insert a clip here at the end of my little guy in both of them, so you can see a comparison on that as well. All right, so as you guys can see, his head is not at the bumpers, and if he turns it either way, it's still not going to touch the bumpers, and this is on a baby who is like almost 3 months old. So that is kind of a big safety aspect, I would assume, is that even if he turns sideways, he's not getting touched by this. However, he's also not being like cuddled in. Now we got this one. Look at those double chins. I don't know if you guys can truly see it, but he's being completely like snuggled in from the sides. His head still isn't like touching up in here if he turns it to the side, but it is a lot more like cuddled inward. Basically, he's kind of like in the little flat hole, which isn't cushioned, and then he's just getting snuggled in from the sides. But I do think this would keep him from rolling, or he probably could roll a lot easier in the DOCKATOT, if that makes sense, because he really can't move very much in the Snuggle Me. But that is it for this video. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another one. Comment down below other like mama and baby style videos you might want to see here on my channel, and I will see you guys in my next one.